versus the world. Our good friends at Bad Wolf Brewing are here with us live in person, as they are on Thursdays. Very excited about that. Mark and Brian are in here. Of course, they used to host mornings out in California, all up and down the West Coast. Now they're brewing beer here in Virginia, which is wonderful. Gentlemen, how are you? Thank you very much for coming in studio.
Thanks for having us.
Doing excellent.
Thank
Love
you,
your
guys.
new studio.
It's great, right? It's awesome. They built it just for us. It has nothing to do with anything other than what's going on this radio show.
Well, see, the junkies get Wheaties. We get beer.
Well, yeah, that can't really display the beer. That would, again, go poorly. Your Fall Fest coming up October 8th. A shell abrasion. I see what you did there. Oyster cookout. Is there anything that lends itself more? I mean, you could go crabs. There's a couple different ways you can go. Mud bugs. But just having a good old-fashioned oyster cookout, that really seems to lend itself to drinking copious amounts of beer.
Yeah, I mean, the guy who does the oysters literally came to us and was just like, hey, we should do something together.
I'm horned up. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, that's the best idea ever. And all his oysters come right out of, they're all locally sourced and based. And he's like, I can get in here whenever you're ready and roast them, grill them, smoke them, fry them. It's like, okay, no, that's
Yes.
all those.
Checking all the boxes. What do we, see, we're sampling something today. What is it that we have here? What did you guys bring along?
Today for you, right there, is the vanilla porter.
Has a nice nose on it.
Yeah, you know, we figured it's a little cloudier today. We could dive into some more seasonally.
Yeah.
Okay, people are going to take this the wrong way. You could absolutely drink this beer in the morning. I mean,
totally.
this is
Breakfast
a
beer.
roll out of the bed, have a pint right as you're getting up with your bacon and eggs. That tastes delicious.
George Washington style, man.
Absolutely. So it's not seasonal? Is this something you make, or is it for the season?
I mean, we make that year round. It picks up a little bit more in the winter.
Oh.
Just because people want darker, richer things in the winter, and no one wants it nearly as much in the summer.
So despite it being a darker beer, which I usually associate with being a little bit more bitter or harsher, that's got a really mellow taste. That's by design, I assume? Or
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We wanted to have kind of a malty sweet backbone to just kind of help highlight the vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
So
It does. How are you guys dealing with the pumpkin pushback that I'm seeing? Like, people just, for some reason, getting distraught. Which, look, I don't like seasonal creep with my beer. I like my beer to match up with the seasons. But, I mean, it's not just that. It's the muffins. It's everything. Are you getting a lot of that at the brewery?
So we always have people who come up, almost no matter what time of year it is.
Really?
Like, so can I get one of those pumpkin beers? It's
Really?
like, no, it's seasonally off. And, you know, we've done a pumpkin saison, which is really different. Most people will focus on doing like a straight up pumpkin ale, but more often than not, it's pumpkin spice, which for us is like not what we want to do.
it's like a pumpkin spice amber.
Yeah.
Like, nothing wrong with the style, but that's what you
But there's still
see.
plenty of people that want it, though, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Totally.
so we're trying to appease them. The beer that we'll have for our fall festival, which is October 8th, that's going to be the Don't Call Me Pumpkin, which is a yam and roasted parsnip and then spiced reddish Belgian beer.
I love yam beers. They're completely underrated. You don't see them as much, and they just you get the sweetness. I think you get a lot of the characteristics that people would like in a pumpkin beer, but it just, I don't know if it's, you're not putting as much nutmeg or cinnamon or whatever it is into this beer, but it doesn't knock on your ass with like the overpowering sweetness of what some of these unholy pumpkin spice conglomerates that we consume are.
I was actually told I am not allowed to put cinnamon in this beer.
Oh, good.
Which, I mean, I was going to put just a little bit, just a hint, just a cinnamon stick.
Had to get the squirt
cinnamon
bottle out.
is perfect.
You know what works better, actually, that gets no love is allspice.
Allspice is great.
Allspice has
Allspice.
all the flavors without the cinnamon heat that you actually get.
I'm a cinnamon guy. I like to rub it in my nether regions. I'm just saying that I think for this time of the year, we get beaten over the head with
Oh,
it. That's all.
Definitely.
People
Yeah.
use it as a catheter. I don't dig that.
To
I know.
to put in their nether region.
Look, it's not me. I'm not the one. Where else would you put a catheter, Russell?
I
Thank you
don't
for putting a bow on that. It's Thirsty Thursday. Bad Wolf Brewing Company. They're fine gentlemen. Mango IPA, Ace's High, Jesse's Girl, Mother Pucker, and sounds like you've got some barrel-aged versions of your beers coming up, right?
We do. So the vanilla porter that we brought today, we put those into some bourbon barrels, A. Smith Bowman bourbon barrels. So that should be ready around Christmas time.
Yeah.
You got to
And
show
then-
patience. People hate showing patience, don't they?
And then we've also got 1 barrel of our mango IPA. We got a barrel that had been previously used as a bourbon barrel, and then had gin put into it afterwards.
Good Lord.
So just real heavy botanicals on the nose.
Some pine in there,
Yeah.
too?
A little bit, yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
The juniper in it is really bonkers.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Is it
it's
pretty
really?
prominent.
it's juniper and a little bit of anise.
Yeah, it's
Star
starring
anise.
as kind
Anise.
of the licorice.
John Ennis. Absolutely. You can go to badwolfbrewingcompany.com, badwolfbrewingcompany.com. They have 2 locations. And the Fall Fest, October 8th, the Celebration Oyster Cookout, Nominee Bay Oyster Ranch on September 10th. That sounds amazing. They can drink this beer, which we've had. Of course, Russell's going to drink all of this beer
Absolutely.
during the commercial break, and badwolfbrewingcompany.com is the place to be. Boys, we really do appreciate it. Always you driving all the way down here, and Thirsty Thursdays become our favorite day of the week. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
Thank you, fellas.
Good
Appreciate
men.
it.
They can make beer, so they're better than all of us. Mark, Brian, all the good people at Bad Wolf are good eggs. It's Chad Dukes versus the world.